Hey guys, this is King Crab Zero. I'm going to be streaming a little bit of American Truck Sim today. It's probably going to be a fairly short stream as I'm just finishing up the holiday missions. Though if those go really short, I might take up one more job before I end it out. Give me 1 second here. Okay, actually, let me put my gamepad there. Oh, and let me adjust one thing I forgot. Since I was playing Danganronpa yesterday, I turned off my regular game capture screen. So give me 1 second.
Oh, so you gotta fix it?
I just got to turn my game capture back on. Welcome back, Mavericks.
What do you mean? I was always here.
You didn't acknowledge me when I told you I was back. And you know me, I thrive off acknowledgement, man. That's the only way I can survive. Okay.
How am I supposed to understand this? Because you know me, I thrive on not being acknowledged.
I think you thrive on making people salty.
So how am I supposed to understand this concept of people thriving on being acknowledged if I'm the opposite?
Fair enough. Well, here, Sam. Let me acknowledge you.
No, no.
You're a person, and you do person things.
Ow, no, you poisoned me.
Okay, let's see here. That would be hilarious if acknowledgement was like your kryptonite. Fucking poisons you. So we established that Frankie hasn't seen Serial Experiments Lane yet. Have you seen it yet or not? Or okay, fair enough. As soon as Frankie had pointed out that he hadn't watched it yet, I was like, "Yo, Sam probably hasn't watched it yet, but I'm gonna jump on Frankie and act like Sam has." So we can just be like, Frankie, why wouldn't you do that? We both did, you know? You gonna watch it sometime this week, or?
Possible.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll hopefully plan on having a anime discussion with you guys sometime about it. I feel like the trap that I want to get Frankie in is I want, after he sees it, I want to ask him, oh, Frankie, who do you think was best, waifu in that? Because, most of the female characters are, middle school age, so if he gives any answer, for the most part, he's going to get himself in a trap, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Look at these street signs. You got Moran, and you got Hoback. Yeah, if you take Moran, which is the way I'm going, it makes you a complete Moran.
I was gonna say, I'm not touching those.
Well, I'm taking Moran, because, I'm not a Hoback. Let's see. Yeah, I wonder if the street names in this, match up to the real life street names. Because that'd be funny, if those were actual street names for those places. Yep. Wrong way. Yeah, I do find it cool how long the time frame is for like all of the holiday missions for American Truck Sim, or at least this holiday mission, I should say. It's definitely one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, you're probably busy with the holidays, so you're probably not going to get all these done, during the holidays themselves. So here, take your time. You can get halfway through January before you really have to get them all completed. Because I feel like for a lot of games, usually holiday events like only last for, not long after Christmas. And it's like, dude, a lot of people are still busy with like holiday plans after Christmas, Ah, shit, man. I think the game's now gonna force me to take Hoback. I guess I'm going from a Moran to a Hoback. Also, Sam, have you noticed any new figures in my anime figure collection? Yes, no, maybe so. I guess the bigger question is, it's like, I don't know, I guess maybe I haven't, like, shown you all my figures, so... Do you think you'd be able to spot a figure that is, new and different in my anime collection? I mean, I should say new to me, specifically. Yeah, since our character needs a rest, let's, hold on, it looks like I have a garage over here. And it looks like I even own this garage.
You own a garage in there?
Oh, I own, like, a whole bunch of various garages in this game. What's funny is I haven't discovered the area that this garage is in, but since I buy so many garages just through the online garage purchase tool on this, like, a lot of them I haven't even been to, so... This one, I think that golden icon that it has, I think it means that I own it, so... If that's the case, I will use that as my rest area. And since it should be upgraded, I should also be able to use it as a fueling area. Look at this, like, cross. It gets bigger and smaller. But yeah, I'll pull up the map here in just a moment that shows, like, all the garages I own and don't own. Because I'm either one away from being halfway to buying all the garages, or I'm like already halfway to buying all the garages, so we'll see. Yeah, I own this one for sure. Got the rest area and everything. Wait, why would I have to manage this garage? Shouldn't have to manage anything about it. I just wanted to sleep. I guess I have to back up to do that. Okay. There we go. Here, we'll pull in one more time. Yeah, checking that manage garage option was obviously a bad idea. Okay. Now if I pull in again, will it tell? Okay, there we go. So let's stop here in the doorway and sleep. And we'll sleep 2 times just to get that extra bit of cash flow. Ah, so close. I was so close to making that turn.
Oh yeah, Cam, do you ever forget what LBOF stands for?
Yeah, my first assumption was like little ball of fire or something.
Oh, you're super close. It's Fury.
Little ball of fun?
Fury.
Oh, Fury. I like, yeah, what's funny about that is, like, you said that, but my mind, like, only latched on to the little ball of part. So it's like, oh, okay, let me guess what the rest is, but yeah, like, I figured, like, when I saw the acronym, or even when you said the acronym, I was like, LBOF. It's like, that must be little ball of something. It's like, but yeah, no, that's funny though. That was that close. Okay. See, that was perfect. Got to rest there, and I even got the cheaper fuel prices of one's own garage. You take a look at the stuff I posted in your document for you?
Oh, did you?
I told you that earlier.
I probably didn't hear you.
Yeah, it's because you don't pay attention to me, bud.
No, well, yeah, it was probably around when me and Frankie were yelling at each other.
Well, you're like, did you get that link? And then I was like, I wasn't sure what you meant by the link. And then once I opened up the chat and you're like, the link to the document, I was like, oh yeah. I got that yesterday. I just hadn't touched it yet because I wasn't 100% sure what that link was for again, since, like, I was so tired when you'd posted originally that, like, today just kind of I zoned out on it. But yeah, then, like, once he mentioned what it was again, I was like, oh yeah, let me post some stuff I had, like, worked on so far. I mean, it's a super rough draft so far, but
Oh, what's the 25 seconds mean?
that's about where you'd begin singing that. So you'd use like the first 20 something seconds as kind of like a just instrumental intro, and then at that point is where you'd lead in with like the lyrics and stuff.
I hear it. Was that your part?
I mean, I could take part of that as my part if you guys want to do separate parts. Again, like I was just going to fully fledge out some lyrics for the song, and then if we're doing separate parts, I can take like a portion that I'd rather do, or
Because I was gonna do the intro, which is from 8 seconds to up to about 25. You're 25 seconds.
Okay.
So I'd say 24, and give it like a bit of a space.
Now I'm going to come in right as you're finishing up your last line. I'm gonna be like, oh man, people are going to have to listen to the song twice just to figure out what your line said and what my line said to begin with, or to end with for you. Or maybe they'll have to listen 3 times so they won't expect it the first time. Who all's writing parts for that song? Do you know?
I mean, worst case, you and me.
Okay.
We might be able to undress into it.
I mean, Dre should be like, an easy sell. Be like, dude, you've made a whole rap career. You even sell overpriced headphones now.
Trying to sell them on the bridge, at the very least.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm cool with, like, whatever when it comes to that. Oh, wait, it's further up for the, way station. Yeah, I'm cool with, like, whatever for that. Whether it be, us kind of, like, alternating through it, or, like, you take the intro, and then, like, I take a big portion of the middle, and then, like, Dre finishes off or something. Ah, how's that red light violation? I was turning.
Then 25 seconds is the chorus.
Yeah, if I'm going to be honest with you, Sam, even though, like, I play music and, do a little bit of, like, writing and composition, usually I don't know, like, what all the differences between, like, bridge, chorus, and all that stuff is.
And
But that's mostly because, like, any time I've taken a, like, to doing composition stuff, I've never really thought about, like, oh, this is a bridge section. This is, like,
41 seconds.
That's the bridge? 41 seconds?
No, 41 seconds would be the verse.
Oh, okay. It's like when it's a song, like, those are pretty easy to identify, but yeah, when it's just a instrumental song to begin with, that's where I just, it's like, I don't know how those sections necessarily get determined.
Oh, So in the instrumental, you can't tell when it separates.
Yeah, I'm just not as good at that because it's like, I mean, usually a chorus is like a song that repeats, but those have different terms sometimes in instrumental music. So.
Well, I was like, I think if I remember correctly, the chorus in this one is 4 beats, and the verses are 3.
Yeah.
Or they could be the other way around, but I think it goes that way.
That's fair. I mean, we'll get it figured out.
And then he does have a bridge in here that sounds completely different from the rest. Because the bridge is supposed to contrast the rest of the song.
Yeah. See, I always thought the bridge was just any sort of like connecting section that wouldn't be a verse or a chorus or anything like that. Which means that it could contrast or that it could be still on a similar theme, but that you wouldn't put lyrics over, you know?
Well, it usually contrasts, and it's usually towards the end. And I think Dre said it was mostly usually instrumental.
Yeah, I think bridges are generally, like, I think bridges are instrumental. Again, I think those terms, again, specifically, like chorus, verse, bridge, usually goes, like, for regulars, like, if you're writing an actual song, like, song that has lyrics and stuff like that. Like, lyrics and singing and whatnot. Because, again, like, some of those other sections, can have different names and, like, instrumental music and stuff.
Like at 58 seconds to the next one. Oops. There we go.
So I guess after we do get lyrics and stuff and vocals added to that, like, where are you going to post it to?
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud? We're all going to become famous SoundCloud rappers now?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair.
Wait, is that what you're doing? Are you rapping on your part?
I mean, it'd be like more of like a slow, gentle rap, not like... But I mean, I don't know, I feel like that's kind of how that style would almost have to be. Just because, like, to fit those lyrics in, you would have to take a kind of different approach to how you sing various parts of it. But I figured that's kind of what you're doing. I mean, if it's all three of us, or if it's just you and me, we can obviously have like a fucking kind of similar approach to the Lincolns of the Parks. Okay. I guess that does bring up a question. It's like, when does something go from like simple singing to rap? You know what I mean?
Chorus, verse, chorus, bridge. What do you mean?
Well, when does something go from like regular singing to rap? I mean, it's kind of like in the same light of the idea of like, when does something go from like, you know, hard rock or something to metal, you know? It's like, what level of heavy, per se, for that, or what styling, you know, causes it to go from, like, one thing to another? Like, what makes it, like, what level of verbal, or I guess vocal maneuvering do you have to get to before you can be like, oh, that's just a regular song, to, oh, that's rap right there, you know? Because, I mean, even when you listen to rap itself, it's like, you know, there's varying levels of, like, how rapped the words are, per se. Oh man, gotta wait for all this traffic.
You got all the markers.
Oh, you got it all marked out?
I think so.
Cool. See, I thought the approach, in my opinion, was what I was originally doing, is like to kind of all write our own parts out separately and then put it together. Because then it's like, you know, we each kind of write our own, like, feelings and aspects and get, like, potentially, like, there might potentially be, like, a little bit greater contrast between what we're singing, but it's like, you know, objectively our own at that point, you know? But again, I'm down with doing it however. Like, if it's one of those things that we're just going to put it all in, like, a document and stuff, I'd still hope that people would, yeah, still write out their own feels for their parts, but I get that if there's a little bit of influence at that point. And even with influence, there would still be, like, one's own creativity applied.
I mean, I was aiming for the intro, sort of like I'm thinking something. And say I was gonna do for the intro. I was gonna do something like the song I sent you, "Toxic."
Okay, yeah.
Because he starts with a different part. I don't think he repeats.
Like, and that was my thing with like how short that song is. I was avoiding like any repetition just because it's like I don't necessarily think that a song like that necessarily needs a much of a chorus or anything. Because at first I'd played with the idea of writing chorus parts, but then it's like, well, I don't know, this song's super short. Like, I get that choruses can be super important when you get to like a little bit longer song length, but what, it's like 2.5 minutes or maybe less.
2:07.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like there isn't songs that short.
Oh, I get that. Except, a lot of my time with playing music and stuff has been more jazz focused, so kind of like, I just want it to be as creative as possible, you know? Though I have to blame the jazz focus on like my bass playing on Ryan. Yeah, since he plays a lot of jazz piano, kind of had to adopt a more jazz style to bass. Which, to be honest, I think is probably a good thing, It's like, you're not bogged down as much and like, oh, I have to necessarily do like only root notes or just, focus solely on always being focus solely on only being rhythm. It's like you can be a little bit more creative, Because in jazz, bass often gets its own solo during various pieces, so kind of one of those things where it's like, got to learn how to play both rhythm and kind of solo, and how to walk a bass line. But yeah, I'll be excited, to hear if Dre is going to add some lines to that song, or if it's just us. I mean, if Dre is also participating, that'd be cool. Get 3 different people. Have you floated the idea to Frankie yet, or?
I think Frankie would be the harder one.
Be like, Frankie, we just need to put some bars down for a fallen friend, man.
Frankie doesn't do anything cringe.
Is that cringe?
Frankie.
You know what? Frankie doesn't do anything cringe. That's a fucking lie. Frankie's whole life is cringe, okay? Frankie's whole existence is cringe. I mean, that's really not true, but yeah, that's always the joke, right? Yeah, it's only yellow. I got this. It was totally still yellow. 100%, definitely not a red light. But no, I don't think like writing lines to put in a song or even singing said lines in said song is cringe. So if Frankie does, that's all on him, you know. Like, Frankie's into music, right?
Yeah.
So you just gotta be like, Frankie, you're into music. Why wouldn't you want, given this, like, opportunity to help produce something that would be, you know, a nice piece of music?
Because it's cringe.
But how is it cringe?
I don't know. Do you think cosplay is cringe?
I mean, I don't think so.
Frankie does.
What sort of, like, weeb is Frankie? Like, I feel like if you're a weeb, it's a hard sell to be like, cosplay's cringe. Okay, let's take this opportunity here to go over to the YouTubes. Yeah, I don't get that attitude. It's like, cosplay's not cringe. And then, participating in the song is not cringe either. Okay, there we go. What are some other things Frankie considers cringe that aren't cringe?
Going to watch anime movies.
I don't think that's cringe at all. Like, there are ways to be cringe while watching an anime movie, but I feel like the act of going to see one itself is not cringe. If you're that person in the crowd that's like, you know, getting all loud during the movie, like being obnoxious, that's super cringe. But the simple act of like going isn't cringe at all. What was it wasn't it during Digimon where you had those people that were just getting like super loud and obnoxious during certain parts?
I think you can point to most of the movies.
Not necessarily. Like with a lot of the Ghibli movies we've went to, those ones generally haven't been obnoxious. You know what? You're right though. Digimon, and I feel like the My Hero Academia ones have been like there have been those cringe people in the crowd. So, you know what? We're just gonna ignore Studio Ghibli then, in the sense of like counting it as a regular anime movie, since
it's in a class of its own,
right? Yeah, that's fair actually. I feel like Ghibli movies, you might as well just say those are like the Disney movies of Japan, right?
I'd say Pixar.
Oh, that's even better actually. The Pixar movies of Japan, where it's like the art form is really good. Like, yeah, they generally are a little bit higher production, and usually they have a bit more meaning and stuff to them.
I don't think Disney can hold a candle to Pixar.
Well, I only say Disney because, like, you know, Pixar movies are Disney, you know?
Yeah, but it's its own thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so
And I'll say, well, what is he now? I don't think he is anymore. I think he was the CEO. He was the one that was supporting Ghibli in the West. The CEO for Pixar.
yeah, I know who you're talking about. Because I know that they've done like interviews with him, with like a couple of the like for the lead-ins for a couple of those Ghibli films we've seen. I can't remember the guy's name, but yeah, I know exactly.
John Lasseter.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, the thing is, it's like,
Did you know he studied with freak? What was his name? Stop motion guy.
Which stop motion guy?
Creepy one.
Oh, Tim Burton.
Yeah, he studied with him.
Tim Burton, famous for Mars Attacks.
I don't know what Mars Attacks is.
Oh, it's his magnum opus. You should see it.
But yeah, they went to they were the first class of CalArts together.
Yeah, I like some Tim Burton movies.
There was a few others, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
But no, I like some Tim Burton movies. But I feel like the problem with Tim Burton stuff is that there's the Tim Burton fans are kind of like, you know, obnoxious and annoying. It's like, I like Rick and Morty, but I hate Rick and Morty fans because they're obnoxious and annoying, you know?
Pickle Rick!
And they'll be like, oh, this show's so intelligent. And it's like, dude, this show consists mostly of, like, bathroom humor. It's like, I don't think you can make a case that this show's super intelligent. Like, does it have an intelligent joke here and there? Yeah, it does. But on the flip side, most of the humor is kind of stupid. But yeah, like most Tim Burton fans, like they always they're like, "Oh, I'm a huge Tim Burton fan." So I like to judge them based solely on like when I bring up Mars Attacks, if they know what I'm talking about, and if they enjoyed it or not. Because Mars Attacks, it's a pretty cheesy movie, but it's definitely worth seeing. But yeah, like it doesn't follow his normal style, and then it's one of those things that's it's kind of obscure, so not everyone's seen it. So when someone's like, "Oh, I'm a huge Tim Burton fan," it's like, okay. I feel like if you're a big fan of a certain director, like you should, if you haven't seen all their films, you should at least know of a lot of their films, you know? So it's like, yeah, that's my litmus test. Like, if they don't know of that film, it's like, okay, yeah, you're only into like things like A Nightmare on Elm Street and those types of films. Like you're like Beetlejuice, Nightmare on Elm Street, and whatever else he did that was animated like that. Was he the one that did Coraline?
Wait a minute. Mars Attacks is live action?
Yeah, it's an actual film.
Oh, that's his?
Yeah, that is his.
Huh. I actually know what it is then. I've seen it.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, that's my litmus test movie when it comes to when someone says they're a big Tim Burton fan. It's like, oh, really? What about Mars Attacks? And you want to know what the kicker is? I brought that movie up a lot to supposed, huge Tim Burton fans. And I don't think any of them so far have, recognized, have known what that movie is, you know? Okay, fine. I guess I won't deliver to, Elku. Let's see. That one's already filled up. Nope, we're going to Elku. I don't care. I don't care if that one's already done. We're going to do it. I just want to get my personal contribution out of the way here. I don't care about the community contributions. Another Tim Burton film that I really like is Sleepy Hollow. Have you ever seen that one? Have you ever seen that one, Sam?
That's the Headless Horseman one?
Yeah. It's another live-action movie of his, and that one's actually a really good horror film. But yeah, I really enjoy that one. But that's another one that a lot of Tim Burton fans might not know. I feel like they probably would be more apt to recognize it than Mars Attacks. It's less obscure.
Isn't Sleepy Hollow pretty well known?
I was gonna say I feel like it's pretty well known, but I don't know that a lot of people know that it's actually a Tim Burton film. You know?
Yeah, I didn't know.
Well, that's the problem with some of Tim Burton's best films. Well, I shouldn't say necessarily best, but some of the ones of his that I like the most is that a lot of people don't even know that they're his films. You know? Because again, your average, Tim Burton fan per se, quotation marks,
gonna prefer the stop motion stuff.
Yeah, they generally only know about stop motion, cartoon stuff, and Beetlejuice. They usually know Beetlejuice because it was I think
Ew.
It was the kind of first one that really established his aesthetic. You know, a lot of black and white stripes and just the kind of general aesthetic you get in Tim Burton film. So a lot of them know that, and then beyond that, usually all they know is his cartoons, or I guess his animated movies. But don't get me wrong, I really like Beetlejuice. It's pretty good.
You said it 3 times.
Ah, shit. I'm trying to think of the actor who played Beetlejuice. I was going to be like, is what's-his-face going to show up?
It wasn't Heath Ledger?
No, it wasn't Heath Ledger. I'm trying to think who it was.
I was just throwing a random name out.
I don't know if Heath Ledger was ever in any Tim Burton stuff. I mean, Tim Burton's usual go-to is
Johnny Depp?
Yeah. Oh, actually, I'm pretty sure Tim Burton did Edward Scissorhands. That's another good one. That's another live action. You know what? His live action's much better than his animated stuff for the most part.
Michael Keaton?
Oh yeah, Michael Keaton. There we go. Yeah, if I say Beetlejuice 3 times, does Michael Keaton just show up? Is that the curse he got after that movie? Just every time someone says Beetlejuice 3 times, he just randomly teleports to their fucking place, and he's like, "What? Not again? What the fuck?" You know what? I wonder if Michael Keaton's related to Buster Keaton. I think that's what his name was.
He also came out in Spider-Man. Look at that.
Wait, who did? Michael Keaton?
Yeah.
Which one?
Far From Home. Yeah, Far From Home. I think.
And then which one was he in before that?
What?
Well, because I mean, was he in as just a character for that, or was he one of the ones that was brought in from because they'd already been in the Spider-Man movie?
Actually, it might have been Homecoming.
Who'd he play in Homecoming?
The Vulture.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say like, oh wait, no, you said Far From Home, not No Way Home. I was thinking like No Way Home, and I was like, but yeah, no, I haven't seen Far From Home. That's the one where he fights Mysterio, right? It would have been cooler if he would have fought Rey Mysterio.
Wrong one.
Why is that the wrong one?
Because he's not a villain.
I mean, that dude's killed a guy. You knew that, right?
Yeah.
See,
I'm trying to make a counterpoint of other heroes who have.
Yeah, that's 100% fair. Yeah, you know what superhero? Well, I can't even say superhero, but you know what hero has killed a whole bunch of people?
Punisher?
The Punisher. But to be fair, I feel like the Punisher kind of has just an anti-hero aesthetic to him, you know? Where he's like, well, he's a hero, but he definitely doesn't act like one. And a lot of the things that he do can sometimes be considered like morally apprehensible.
Does he consider himself a hero?
That's a good question. And to that question, I don't know, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Can he be called a hero if he doesn't consider himself a hero?
Yeah. I mean, they're heroes in like movies and other stuff that they themselves might not necessarily think that they're necessarily a hero, but you know, they are still technically the hero of the story and stuff.
Even though their methods may not be considered hero-esque?
Yeah. Because I mean, like the thing is, it's like at that point, you know, you might just consider them like an anti-hero or something. Where it's like, well, they still end up being the hero, but again, morality-wise and like method-wise, like you know, it might fall from like what you'd consider for a standard hero. I think the whole thing, yeah, when it comes to people and stories that are heroes, it's like, well, did their actions eventually, I mean, were their actions intentioned in a way that would lead to a good and proper outcome? Yes. Were their methods, you know, necessarily the best for that? No. It's like, well, they still accomplish good. It just,
Wait, would you... Question. Nothing?
Well, you said, would you question, then you didn't ask a question.
Well, because I was waiting for you to say answer, but okay.
Okay. No, I was actually waiting for your question for once.
Anyway. Oh, no, I think you answered it. So... would a hero ever kill him?
I mean, honestly, like, yeah, I feel like... Are you saying, would a hero ever kill the Punisher, or are you just saying, would a hero ever kill in general?
In general.
I believe so. I mean, again, if it's one of those things where you look at the perception of them, and it's one of those things where the real morality gets down to, did the ends justify the means, you know? And it's like, okay, well, they might have done some things that were, you know, not great. But if the ends are something that were, yeah, really, really good, then you could probably say that the ends justified the means, even if you don't necessarily agree with the means themselves, you know? So I feel like when you get to kind of more of the, almost like anti-hero type archetypes, usually it's like, I would say for them, they generally are people that look at it as, do the ends justify the means? Whereas when you get to your moral paragon type of hero, they're usually looking at it, do the means justify the ends? And they're usually the ones where they try to avoid any means that might not be, moral in their opinion. And that's where you usually get the heroes that, outright just don't kill people and stuff.
Okay, because you played Mega Man Zero, right?
No, I haven't actually played Mega Man Zero. I know that's one of your favorites.
I was gonna say because his one of his motifs in there is exterminate with extreme prejudice.
Well, I mean that's probably one of those again moments where it's taking a look at it and examining that the ends justify the means, But to be fair, when you look at stories like that with like clear-cut heroes and villains and stuff, a lot of times you could say in a situation where you have like such bad villains and stuff that even the most moral man sometimes has to look at it in the sense of like, well, to deal with like such an extreme enemy, sometimes I'm going to do things that I don't want to do, that I don't take pleasure in doing, that I don't like, because it's going to be the only way to deal with said enemy or villain or problem, But that's also where you get to heroes that kind of like fall off and become the villain sometimes, where if they identify a problem that like, it's often the common thing when you have characters that are like robots and stuff, where I'm sure you've seen plenty of like shows or movies and stuff where like a AI will develop its own sense of right and wrong, and usually come to the conclusion that like humanity's bad for the earth and stuff, and therefore they have to eliminate humanity to save the earth. Where it's like, well, they definitely believe that the ends justify the means, because the ends that they're looking for, are correct to them, even if for the greater of society or the greater of humankind, it might not be justified, or we can't justify it ourselves, But now, morality is always an interesting one. Like, I remember taking, when I was in college, I had taken a philosophy class on ethics, because ethics is one of the 5 major branches of philosophy. And it was always interesting, because, you'd get to a lot of those debates about, what's ethical, and then you have to kind of examine, the idea that morality is different to different people. Like, it's not always clear cut, And then also, sometimes something, again, might seem unethical or might seem ethical, But then if you look on its like other effects, it might have other implications to it that might actually be worse. So it might drive an ethical, like what was perceived as an ethical choice, into the realm of unethical. Or you might see something that you thought was unethical at first, but then after realizing what the intended results were and seeing those results, you might decide that it maybe was an ethical choice, Oh man, I hear a little misty kitty coming up on me. She doesn't really sneak up on me generally, because usually she meows at me before she gets to me. There have been a couple of times where I've been in the same room with her and she kind of snuck up on me, not because I didn't know she was in the same room, but because I thought she was like laying on the ground or something. But she'll have jumped onto like the back of like the chair I've been sitting on, and I didn't notice it because she usually, when she does that, she usually does it light enough that I can't quite tell. So I have had those moments where like I'm sitting on a chair in Ryan's room and like I'll look over to my side and then I'll see that Misty's like right there behind me on the chair. It's like, what the hell? When did you get there? It's not like she meows or anything when she does that. Usually she'll just like jump on the back of the chair, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I guess I have a cat on the chair after I finally notice. We're going to skip parking that one. That was going to be a pain. Okay, let's see here. Continue. Oh, look at that. I got my holiday event done. So yeah, that took up about an hour, which was I was hoping to stream today. So with that then, I'm going to get ready here to stop streaming. I've been King Crab Zero. Check me out on Twitch, YouTube, and then either of those have my socials and stuff. You can find the link to the official Discord there. I will be back tomorrow to stream something. I'm not 100% sure what. But you guys have a good night, and I will catch you later.